everyone, and welcome to Facebook. We have an exciting session for you right now. I'm Corey Hale, the CEO of CultureBanx, and today we're going to be talking with women entrepreneurs who are leveraging Facebook and Instagram's social play. We're going to be doing an inside look into the minds of women entrepreneurs who are using Facebook and Instagram to shape exactly how they are building their businesses and brands. I want to bring in our panelists. Joining us first, we have Brooke DeVard Ozaidenly, who is on Instagram's product management team, and you also host your own podcast,
yes,
which is super cool. We also have joining us Ronnie Brown, who is the CEO of Girl CEO. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
I'm excited that you guys are here because we are going to have an awesome conversation.
Yes.
And I guess, I'll just kick things off with what I do at CultureBanx. We create business news for hip hop culture, and social media is exactly how we reach our entire audience. It's super duper important to us. We have our biggest following on Instagram, and of course, we push our content out on Facebook as well because it's all about building community to really help people understand their impact on the economy and how the financial markets really play a role in their everyday life. But how about you?
Yeah, so I work at the Instagram partnerships team based in New York, and we're really thinking about how you can show up and support creators on our platform that are using Instagram to build their brand and their business. So there's this whole new generation of creators that are really using the tools of Instagram to do just that. So we're really passionate about supporting them. And then on the side, I have my beauty podcast, Naked Beauty, that I started about 4 years ago now, where I talk to women about their approach to wellness, self-care, and their beauty routine.
Oh, I really, really like that. Ronnie, how about you?
Well, I am the CEO of Girl CEO Inc., and we equip women to be the CEOs of their businesses, lives, and homes. And we do that through masterclasses, live intimate events, and products that inspire women every single day to keep going.
Yeah, and I know a little bit, Ronnie, already about your background and how you got started. And all of our viewers out there, you guys are going to learn more about her. But I just want to tell everyone, who really, perhaps if they don't understand that really, the way the internet works, kind of being this love child of the World Wide Web, is really social media. And that's very, very important. Tell us about your path first in terms of how you, outside of your day-to-day at Instagram, but how your podcast really leverages social media.
Yeah, so back when I started, I remember I listened to so many podcasts and they were hosted by men talking to other men, and I couldn't find a podcast that was just a woman talking to another woman about things that were open and intimate and vulnerable. So I kind of just created Naked Beauty because I couldn't find it anywhere else. And as I sat about to kind of find my guests and find these ideal women I wanted to interview, I was like DMing people. I was just reaching out via DM to women I admired and said, I'm starting this show. I really want to have an unfiltered, honest discussion. Would you be willing to come on and do that with me? So DMs were a huge way that I got my guests onto the show. And then when it came time to promoting the show, I used Instagram as well. So I built a whole page for the podcast, and I do little video clips where I interview my guests, and I share that on the Instagram page as well. So Instagram's been a huge way that I've kind of grown the podcast and cultivated a community.
Definitely makes sense. And Ronnie, you were cultivating a community before that was in vogue, so to speak. And now a lot of times you do hear people talk about you need to build up a community for your brand or your product, but you were doing it before it was a thing.
I know. I've been on Instagram since 2011, and I've been on Facebook since 2009. So I've spent probably the last 10 to 11 years creating a community, and I've used all of the tools via social media to connect with my audience. And of course, I now have a podcast as well, and we've just continued to use social media to connect with our audience, and they absolutely love it.
Oh, it definitely is super duper impressive. And I want to give our audience just a few more statistics to help them out, because in 2019, women started an average of more than 1,800 new businesses per day. That's right here in the US. These companies actually represent 42% of all businesses that are out there, bringing in nearly $13 trillion. How much do you think social media, although this one first out to you, Ronnie, do you think plays a role in, those statistics being true?
Well, for me, I absolutely believe that social media built my company. I tell people all the time that social media saved me from becoming another statistic. So I use social media 100%. I grew my entire company on social media. So I would say 99 0.1%.
Well, no, sticking with that, Ronnie, you alluded to a little bit, but I would love for you to tell people exactly what you mean by how social media basically saved you and allowed you to build a business.
For sure. I was a teen mom. I didn't have a lot of resources. And to be honest, when I started my business, I could barely afford a website. So believe it or not, I started my business on Facebook, just posting my products on Facebook, having people message me when they wanted to purchase. And then I found the little PayPal buttons, and then I incorporated those into my Facebook page. And people are literally buying through my Facebook page. And as I started to build my profit up, I then went into building the website. But by then, I had already used Facebook to find events that were coming up so I could vend and sell my products to feed my children at night. And I went on to transition into Instagram as Instagram rolled out, and it's just been history since then. I grew an entire 7-figure income using social media as a teen mom with no college degree.
Wow, that is something that we can all aspire to today. No, that's super amazing. How about you?
Well, I think we're witnessing the democratization of media. That's what makes me so excited to work at Instagram. And Ronnie, your story is such a testament to that. You don't need gatekeepers anymore. You don't need a pitch tank to qualify you. You don't need a studio to greenlight your idea. You don't need necessarily these external forces. Social media is basically making it so that anyone with an idea and a passion can make a living from that passion using our tools.
No, I mean, that definitely makes sense. And both of you all are modern day entrepreneurs. I mean, you're kind of doing it on the side. And of course, Ronnie, you're doing it full time. But as this modern day business owner concept evolves, many people do question at times the real value, right? And having a good social media presence to build up their brand and even their customers or their listeners. In your case, would you say that if you decided to not go the social media route, that would be really an overall hindrance on your business and building up your brand?
I think so. I think you want to earn an audience and have a way that you can continually have conversation with them. And if you don't have that community of supporters online, it's going to be really hard to kind of have a meaningful community.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like saying that would be equivalent to you saying, I don't even care what's going on online. I'm still going to pass out these phone books because I know people are still going to open them up and read them. So that would literally be you taking that approach. So I definitely suggest getting on social, and yes, it is needed.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And something that could be quite obvious to our viewers right now, we are all women of color, minority women, and typically 65% of minority women are more likely to have a side hustle, right, of any type than any other ethnic demographic. And I gotta start with you, bro, because you work at a company that has a big name that a lot of people would say, why would you need a side job? Of course you're probably doing great and you love your job, as we know. What was your motivation to having a side hustle and leveraging social media to make that successful?
Yeah, I love my job, but I also love my side hustle. I love doing the Naked Beauty podcast. And again, I created the show because I couldn't find anything like it in market. And I think once you have a very clear kind of mission, like that North Star that you're aiming towards, like, I want to make a meaningful show that has deep conversations with women about beauty in a way that I'm not finding anywhere else. That's what motivates me. That's what helps me to put a new episode out every single Monday, which is hard sometimes. I come home from work, I'm exhausted, but then I have to record, I have to send notes to my editor, I have to kind of package the show. But the thing that kind of motivates me is thinking about my listeners and thinking about what it was like for me before my show existed, not being able to find that. So I just kind of stay motivated by thinking about the end goal.
Yeah, and Ronnie, I know you talked about when you even started your business, you wish that you would have had, right, someone or some sort of roadmap on this is how you are supposed to be able to, strategically roadmap out how to build a business. And you weren't able to have that. So what difference do you think social media plays, especially on the side hustle front?
Well, I think that social media allows you to say, no one's going to put a ceiling on my life. You can create your own tribe and you can literally be yourself. I think it has created a space of authenticity where you can be yourself and you can get paid to be yourself. You can leverage it, you can monetize it, you can be comfortable, and you can build real relationships with people. I think that right now, people are making emotional purchases. So they want to feel a connection to the people that they're buying from, and social media now provides a platform, an opportunity, and an airway for you to be able to do that.
No, completely agree. And I think specifically when it comes to women of color, I think a lot of people probably don't even realize that they actually start more businesses. When you look at the female population of female entrepreneurs, it's really women of color that are leading that charge, and they generate revenue of $1.9 trillion.
Wow.
How important is it, would you say, Brooke, that social media continues to be at the forefront of that strategy, especially as a woman of color who perhaps doesn't have it quite as easy when it comes to building a brand?
Yeah, I think it's not surprising that women of color are creating all these businesses, because I think in Ronnie and I's case, both, we created what we didn't have. And so oftentimes when you're overlooked as a minority in the marketplace, there's a vacuum there. So we kind of jump in to fill it. But again, I think social media is democratizing access. It means that you don't necessarily have to go to a certain school or be at a certain company. You can really take the tools, make them your own, and share your story without any barrier to entry.
Yes, and as a woman of color who's clearly been killing it for over a decade at this point as an entrepreneur, like, how valuable is that sort of experience and understanding, where women of color in the entrepreneur space really fit into the market?
I think that right now we are not only fitting in the market, we are dominating the market, which is why when you walk into stores, you are seeing the faces of African American women on shelves, and you're seeing their products beside their faces. So I think that we are definitely dominating right now, and I think it's really important because we are now in a space where we see our value, but I believe that others are finally starting to see our value, and we are bringing the traffic. We are bringing the foot traffic into the stores. We are bringing the traffic to the websites, and people are finally seeing that, hey, we have something special. I believe that we've always had it, but I believe this is the year of woman, and Black women specifically.
Yes. Well, let us definitely hope so. I absolutely second that. I'm pretty sure that people that are watching us right now are like, I've been, sitting here at my desk wanting to either go into something like yourself, Ronnie, full time and really be out there on my own. Or other people are like, you know what? It's not that I'm unhappy with what I'm doing, but I know there's more like you, Brooke, that I could be doing or giving, or that I'm passionate about that perhaps doesn't fit into my, siloed role within corporate America. What would be the 3 pieces of advice that you would perhaps give to someone watching right now saying, I really want to do what Brooke is doing?
I'd say the first is be prepared to work either in the morning before you start work, after work, or on the weekends, and just carve out that dedicated time. I think at first I struggled with, how do I find the time? And now I kind of know, okay, I work about 4 hours every weekend, and I work about maybe 3 to 5 hours after work every week over the course of the week. So carve out time to work on your side hustle so it becomes something that's integrated into your day. I think 2, think about what you have a unique value, like where you have unique purpose. So think about what you're able to bring to the table that no one else can bring. And then I think the third is just to be consistent. You have to kind of keep at it over and over again, and be prepared to not have results immediately. When I first started my podcast, I remember when I got like 200 listens, it was a huge deal. I was like, oh my gosh, 200 people listen to my show, listen to an hour of me speaking. Amazing. Now I'm much, further than that, but it took me 4 years to get to the point where I had a really active and engaged community. So I'd say don't be disheartened by numbers when you're first starting out. Just keep at it and be consistent.
Yeah. And what would you say, Ronnie, in terms of the being an entrepreneur full time for people that want to get into it?
So the first thing I would say is not to quit your day job way too fast. I see a lot of people just saying like, fire your boss, and it's just kind of like this new thing where everyone's kind of pushing people to just quit their job. So the first thing I would say is take your time and understand that your job is actually just a source of revenue that can just really build and fund your business. So be slow and just take your time and build that income up, and do it steady. Okay. The second thing that I would say is be yourself. Be authentic. I think with so many different personalities and social media, it can take you to a space where it starts with comparison, and then you get to a place where you can try to duplicate and be other people, right? So you have to really just get comfortable with being yourself, because there's a tribe for every single person. And the more you be yourself, the easier it will be for you to attract your tribe to you. And then last but not least, I would definitely say that one of the things that I wish I would have known, or someone would have told me, is that failure is the best source of wisdom that you can get on your journey. So be prepared to fail. A lot of people never start out of the fear of public humiliation, and what if this doesn't work, or what are people going to say if I fail and this flops, or what if I put this product out there and no one buys it? For me, I'm at a space where I am never afraid to start over, and I don't care what anyone thinks. So I would say do it fearlessly and just take the leap for sure.
Yeah, okay, well, let's bring it full circle then and back to social media. What are the three best ways that you would see, Brooke, that people watching should be really tapping into to leverage social media?
I would say right now in 2020, video is so important. So if you're really looking to up your game on social, thinking about Instagram specifically, start tapping into our video tools like IGTV if you're not already. If you are doing IGTV already, go that extra step, create your own series on IGTV for people to get to know you. Ronnie is so good at IGTV. She invests so much time in doing video, and you can feel like you have much deeper connection with your audience when you have video. It's something that a picture just can't do. I'd say the second thing again is to be consistent. So don't just do one or two videos and hope that it's going to go viral. You have to kind of keep at it. How many videos have you done?
Hundreds. Gosh, hundreds.
Hundreds of videos.
I've done 9,000 pieces of content
wow.
since I've been on social media, on Instagram specifically.
So this is consistency, and that's what's really going to like set you apart from everyone else. And then I think the third, we've been saying it, it sounds like a cliche at this point, but really be authentic to who you are. People can feel authenticity. It kind of like jumps through the screen. That's why we all loved Cardi B when she kind of popped on Instagram a few years ago. It was like, wow, who is this woman? She's so unique and she's really being herself. So just think about bringing your full authentic self every single time you make content for the platform.
No, I love that. I love that.
So something that I would say is voice notes. Something that I've gotten into, instead of just sending messages to people, I send them voice notes. And when they hear my voice, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you took the time to actually respond to me. So I'm being very intentional with sending those voice notes and communicating with my customers. Another thing that I would definitely suggest is engaging. A lot of people complain and say, no one follows my page, no one comments, it's just so dry and boring. It's like, no, because you have to give what you want to get back. So are you commenting? Are you following new people? Are you sharing other people's content? Let's talk about that. And then last but not least, I love collaboration on social media. It is a great way for people to share networks, really get yourself out there. So an IG takeover, cross promotion is definitely the best way to go right now.
No, definitely makes sense. I just want to wrap up kind of with this last question here, because due to platforms like Facebook and Instagram, we're definitely seeing the needle, right, start to move when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur, because really social media has made it easier for people to start their own companies. What do you guys get excited about in terms of social media that you think it's getting right in this space for business development?
I'm excited about a lot of new tools that Instagram is developing. So shopping, so the ability to buy right directly there on Instagram is really revolutionary. As well, again, is IGTV, the ability for you to, again, you don't need a studio, you don't need a big budget. You can create your own series and have people engage with you and get to know you through your video content.
Oh.
I'm really excited about the data. I'm a very intentional person when it comes to understanding my audience. So being able to know what my audience wants to see by taking a look at the data, it allows me to really know what type of content needs to be posted so I can keep my customers happy and my followers happy and keep them coming back. So understanding what excites them definitely helps generate more revenue.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. I hope that we have more of these types of discussions, and we'll be back hopefully with another great panelist talking about all things female and entrepreneurs. All right.